I slept through the afternoon and now it's evening, I'm running out of lighting and it's cloudy, so fuck my life. Hello people of the world, my name is Misam and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're here for the first time. I'm a writer, I'm a reader, I'm a science fiction and fantasy junkie, so if you're into that kind of stuff, you know what to do. Go ahead, click that button.
No.
So today I'm going to talk about the Henna Wars. And before we get into the review, I had a pretty uncomfortable conversation with my mother about this book. Here's how it went. So beta, what are you reading? Hey mom, it's this book. It's written by a Muslim author, by the way. Oh, mashallah, tell me about it. Yeah, she's Bangladeshi. It's a pretty great book. Huh, I can say from the name only, Henna Wars, right? Yeah, it's about a Bangladeshi Muslim girl who's a lesbian. What the fuck? Yeah, if I'm impersonating my mom, I have to bring that dupatta in. But I think my mom was pretty supportive about it. I mean, she did not stop me from reading the book, so that's a win. This is exactly why we need more Muslim queer representation in books. Guys, we need it. Make it normal. So without further ado, let's just dive into the review of the book. First, I'm going to do like a non-spoiler section and then I'm going to do a spoiler section. Now, here's the thing. I'm not Bangladeshi, but I know how South Asian families work. Moreover, I've spent like a large chunk of my recent life in Bangladesh. Spent many years there. I've got a lot of Bangladeshi friends. Live with a Bangladeshi family. I have Bangladeshi family as well. So I kind of know how the families are and I know how difficult it's going to be if you come out as queer in one of those families. And living in a Muslim household myself, I felt this book. I may not be queer, but I know people who are, and I think this book is important and it is a step in the right direction, and I'm so glad that this book was written. I'm so glad that this book is there. And if you are into this kind of book, you need to read it because, well, I'm going to talk about why. So the Henna Wars is about a girl named Nishat. She is a Muslim Bangladeshi girl who is a lesbian. South Asian representation and make it sapphic. You got Happy Missy. So the book follows the coming out story of Nishat. The crux of the book lies in a competition which is between Nishat and this girl called Flavia, and I was so here for it because, you know, the instant vibe that I got from this book was like competitors to lovers, which is like, overall the book was pretty easy to follow. It had a simple yet highly effective plot. The characters were memorable, and overall it was a pretty engaging read. The story opens with the description of a wedding, and I was instantly pulled in because they spoke about biryani and kebabs, and I love just how you just dive right into the South Asian, like the Bangladeshi representation and the Bangladeshi culture, because the wedding is described so unabashedly and it's so beautiful and vibrant, and I instantly connected. So yeah, A+ for rep, A+ for showing the culture of Bangladesh. It was so well done. I loved it. Again, the talk of biryani and kebabs. The author does a great job of showing the cultural importance of being a Bangladeshi in Nishat's life in every step of the book. Even though she no longer resides in Bangladesh, she is very much still like a South Asian girl at heart, and you get it in like every single dialogue, in the way she thinks about like her homeland, in the way she talks about henna and like mehendi as an art form. I really like the characters in this book. Now here's the thing, since I'm mostly like a fantasy reader, I don't know, like I read, my last contemporary read was 6 years ago, I guess, so I don't remember how characters were usually written in these books, but at least in the case of fantasy, you have a higher word count, so you have the opportunity to dive deep into like a lot of characters. I said dive deep properly, guys, I did it.
Dive deep.
But yeah, you have the opportunity to really go into the character of like a lot of characters, but I did not see it happen in this book. There were around 2 to 3 people. There was Nishat, Preeti and Flavia, whose character we really got into a little bit, and most of all it was Nishat, followed by Flavia, followed by Preeti. That being said, I'm not an expert in the contemporary genre, so I'm not sure. I did wish, however, like we got a bit more from the characters. Like I would love to know a bit more about Nishat's parents. Again, I won't say that I was unsatisfied. I liked what it presented. I guess this is just like a genre shift that's happening for me. I really liked the character interactions though. So between Preeti and Nishat especially, I love the sisterly bond, and I really like it when books, they kind of explore relationships other than romantic relationships. And I absolutely loved the relationship between Preeti and Nishat because I have a younger sister and our relationship is somewhat similar. Like I think that Nishat and Preeti like did not share like boundaries at all, but I think my sister and I, we share like a bit of boundary, but still like I could see like the similarities and it was adorable. Actually, Preeti was pretty well fleshed out. Preeti, Flavia, and Nishat were pretty well fleshed out, and I guess that is how the contemporary genre is. You just don't have enough words to get into a lot any more characters than that. But let's talk about the competition. As I said, I was just so hyped for the competitors to lovers trope. It was so good, and initially I totally understood like coming out or homophobia was not the only topic that was dealt with in the book. There were talks about racism and difficulties of being a person of color amongst a predominantly white society. There was also cultural appropriation, and in the beginning there's like this conflict between Nishat and Flavia about doing henna, because Nishat is of the opinion that, you know, henna is her culture and anybody else just flippantly taking it up is cultural appropriation. But the best part is that I totally agreed with Nishat, but I also agreed with Flavia, being an artist myself. There were quite a few things that were dealt with in this book, and again, I felt the book. I don't know how else to describe it. This book was a very comforting read, and it was full of feelings for me. Being from a Muslim household, being so closely attached to Bangladesh and its culture, and just knowing how difficult it is and having friends who are queer, I felt this book, and I can only imagine how important this book is gonna be for actual queer people. So you should definitely give it a read because, as I said, it's a step in the right direction. I didn't believe that the writing style was like a bit simple. It can work both ways. Again, I am used to the fantasy genre. Maybe it was just a me thing, finding the writing style a bit too simplistic, but I did find that it was. I've heard a few people describe it as bland. I won't say that it was bland. I think that Nishat's personality came through pretty well through the writing style. Like, it wasn't bland, it was just like how a young teenage girl might speak. So I liked that, but just wanted to mention it so that you know what you're getting into, and I wanted to keep things honest. Because while I really like a challenging sort of read, more like a more complicated, I don't know, but just more prosy books, I do think that that is not how teenagers talk. So this book was very authentic as far as teenagers are concerned. The perspective was limited to just Nishat, and we were getting everything, we were seeing everything through Nishat's eyes. And when I was her age, I did not speak or think in a very prosy way. So I really liked how it felt authentic. So you can find it simplistic, which it was, but it was also authentic. So I'm gonna mention that as well because honesty. I love the fact that at the end of the day, her parents came around and were supportive of her. My microphone came off. I don't know how possible it's gonna be for actual like Muslim girls living in South Asia, but I hope that is what the book aims to do. It spreads positivity and it ends on a note of hope that things are possible. Yeah, and honestly guys, I've spoken on this channel about how I haven't been in touch with reading for so many years, and this book basically reminded me why I was a fool for doing that. And it reminds me how important books are, how culturally significant they are, and how we have a long way to go. Okay, now we have a long way to go in terms of diversity and showing different cultures. Anyway, let's talk about the good stuff. Nishat and Flavia are adorable. Okay, you cannot change my mind. There's this onesie scene and it's just so adorable. There's just so much emotion and so much love in there, and I really liked Flavia's character and how she was portrayed. I did like the fact that the author did not stop with homophobia being the only topic that she talks about, and she also talks about cultural appropriation. Again, I said how I kind of understand as an artist where Flavia is coming from, but then people take it like a step further by using stencils, like white girls using stencils for their mehndi. And I was just like, bruh, that's not even art. At least like Flavia was trying to learn how to do this. You guys are using stencils and celebrating Holi? I was pissed in that part, okay? I was pissed. I have no issues with people celebrating our culture, but I mean, those girls were using Nishat's culture. Don't use somebody's culture against them in a competition. That just sucks. So I hated China for doing that. Which actually reminds me that I would have loved if China's character was, dealt with in a slightly more deeper way. I won't say that there weren't layers to her character. I liked the kind of the sisterly bond she shared with Flavia, and during those scenes she was almost humanized. So I liked that. Just wished for a bit more. Like everything just fell into place a bit too conveniently. Again, that is not necessarily a bad thing, because this book isn't about, this book is celebrating, it shows the conflict that one has to face by being a queer Muslim South Asian girl, but it also celebrates the queerness. So, and it ends on a note of hope. So I think that this is important. Books like this and like just literature or like movies, TV shows like this need to exist, where sure you show the conflict, but it ends on a very hopeful note. And yeah, I loved everything about, like everything that they showed about South Asian culture, like basically making some random strangers your family and calling them uncle, auntie, khala, khalu, kaku, kaki, even though there is no blood relation, none. Looking out for seats at Desi weddings. Man, I felt that in my freaking soul, because I've spent some Desi wedding just standing throughout the wedding, and also prying aunties. We all know them. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. If you liked my review, go ahead, check out my other reviews. I like to have fun with my reviews, as you can see. If you liked my review, make sure that you buy The Henna Wars. This book needs to be in people's hands, and with the whole publishing paid me thing, I'm gonna make sure that people buy this book. Buy it, support the author, support Muslim authors, support stories written by Muslim authors regardless of what they want to write. Do it. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up and tell me what you liked about this video. And if you did not like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what you did not like about it, and also know that I do not like you. But regardless, hit subscribe. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm super active on Twitter, so go ahead, say hi to me over there. And yeah, I think that's it. Bye.